It is a great joy and honor to come into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. This is Emmanuel Mensah, a co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. At the Eagle Mentality Group, we teach and propagate information about the power of thought, universal laws and principles, and how these laws and our thinking or thoughts comes together to create our realities. All human beings are creating their own realities, be it individuals or a collective group, regardless of how you call it. All humanity put together, we create our own realities. And so we are here as human beings not to be ignorant about this fact. And this is the time you've got to be awakened to this. As a matter of fact, you don't have to believe in this. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to do anything about this thing for this truth, for it to be true. But it's the universal truth. There are a lot of things that are happening in our lives that we don't understand how they come about, but we adapt to them. And as a matter of fact, if you are to take something like rainfall, before we started using scientific methods to investigate about how rainfall comes about, or the formation of rains, the people who lived in the olden days, they didn't understand it. And so normally they attribute the pattern of rainfall to goals and other things. But now scientific experiment or investigation has shown to us that rainfall is simply the condensation of evaporated water in the atmosphere. And so it is with all other things. Human beings have discovered things from one stage to another, from generation to another. And this is the generation. Actually, this is not even new. A lot of people knows about it, this particular truth. And I'm only re-emphasizing what already exists and what people already know. And to present to you that you create your own reality. If you know it, just to remind you or to rekindle your spirit. And so that is the fact, you create your own reality. Today, I'm going to speak to you on the topic. It is time for you to begin to discover the amazing power in your individuality. I repeat, it is time for you to rediscover the amazing power in your individuality. But before we go on, I would like to make this appeal to you that please subscribe to our channel. Click on the subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. It is time for us to come together to co-create and to empower one another in a positive way. All that we are doing here is to expose all men and women, particularly men and women in Africa, to the power that we hold. And that is why today I'm talking about the discovery of the power in your individuality. And so, please click on the subscribe button. If you have already done so, we just want to salute you. And we say we thank you for your support. Without you, we cannot do whatever we are doing. Together, we stand and we form a formidable group, group of people that knows how the world runs, and we are moving our lives and contribute to the betterment of humanity. And so, the topic is, it is time for you to rediscover the power in your individuality. We live in a world that, as a matter of fact, in our current dispensation, human beings don't believe in themselves anymore. And as a matter of fact, if you are to conduct a research about this particular topic, go about asking people as to whether they believe in themselves or not. They will tell you they don't. If you tell the person that the person is powerful, the person will say, no, he or she is not. But he rather points to someone that he or she thinks is powerful. You see, and so we have been trained to think and believe that there is nothing in us, but we are only victims of circumstances, and we are only at the mercies of other people and outside gods. And so today I'm here to remind you that that is not the truth. And the truth is that there is power in your individuality. Everything in this world is an accumulation of individual particles. And so if you take a block or a brick, the power or the strength of the block or the brick is not in the cement necessarily, but it is in the quality of the grains, the individual grains that comes together to form the sand. If the grains are not good, the block will not do, regardless of the amount of cement or whatever you put in. And so it is. If you take something like a forest, the power and the magnificence of the forest depends on the individual trees, their strength, and the leaves that they form to create the canopy that we call the forest. And so the forest strength is derived from the individuals. And if the individual trees are not strong, the forest is not strong. If the individual trees are not bearing leaves, showing leaves, there will be no forest covered with leaves or a shade for animals and human beings to run under. And so this is how it is. We are all individuals. And as an individual, it is the Spirit of God that has individualized himself into you. And therefore, you possess all the qualities that God has. Everything that is in God is in you. And it is only when you become awakened to this and take this as your guiding principle and begin to look for power, begin to look for inspiration, begin to look for everything from your individual self, then that you have control. And if we have a group of people, if you have humanity that believe in the power in their individualities, all the things that we are dealing with will not be in existence. You are created and born as a powerful being in the likeness of God. You are the image of God. And therefore, God is within you, and you are a unique person. And as a God, you cannot look for power from outside yourself, because God doesn't seek support or whatever power from someone, because God is the source of power. And so the individuality of every human being is something that we have to focus our attention on. You don't have to look at anything outside you as your source of power. And you don't have to look at anything outside you as a source of whatever you are looking for. You don't have to look at God, or your concept of God must no longer be the concept of the God that lives outside you, but it must be the God that lives in you. And if God is in you, that means the power and everything that you need in this world is within you. And so this is who you are. As an individual, you were conceived, and you, as the clot of blood at that stage, you grew all your body parts. You functioned in your mother's womb. Then you came out. When you came out as a baby, you had no concept about other people. You existed as an individual. You were happy within yourself. You were healthy within yourself. Everything that you needed, you were doing it yourself. Your parents or the people around you were only observers, looking at your development into who you are now. And so if you overlook all this, and then you look to other outside or other people that they are the source of your power, then it means you have demagnetized yourself. You have devalued yourself. You see? And so this is the connection that we need to reconnect. You are born and you are created and born powerful. Everything that you need is in you, for God is running through you. And therefore, the only point of belief, your first point of belief, is yourself. If you cannot believe in yourself, you can't believe in other people. You are deceiving yourself. And that is why normally we look at these things and we say people are deceiving us. Yes, if you hold that concept that people, your power or your support, your source of everything is in other people, that is a mindset of lack. You are establishing lack in yourself. And the law of attraction will recreate that lack. And therefore, if you think that people are deceiving you, more deceitful people will come into your life. It is your own creation. And that is why I started that you create your own reality, you see. And so your individuality is the most important thing. And the way to live and to protect your individuality and to live and to be the powerful person is to only take care of yourself. You come first before all other things. As a matter of fact, if I'm to use the word, you got to be selfish. And when I say you got to be selfish or you come first before all other things, what I mean is that you've got to be at a certain point before you can help someone. You cannot give people what you don't have. And you cannot actually be something that you don't believe to have. And so you're going to begin to think about yourself, and the only way that you can be a happy person, you can be a good person, you can be anything to any other person, is to take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself is to control or to take care of your line of thinking. Anyone, any situation, anything that comes to cause you negative feeling is an indication that that thing is not good for you. Your line of thinking is not the thing that is not good for you, but how you are thinking about that thing is not in agreement with the goal that you are. And therefore, you've got to stop. You see, and so when you begin to live this life, you will always be connected to the power that within you. You are an independent person who lives and co-create with the forces in the universe. And in that case, you become a better version of yourself, such that all human beings come around you and they feel who you are. And that is why we have a lot of people, when you go closer to them, you are naturally cling to them. You feel what they are. And the only way that you can be in that state is to take control of your life and begin to understand and operate on the premises that you are the God on earth here, and the only source of your power, the only source of everything that you need is within you, and therefore you are the center of your life. So instead of placing your mind, your eyes, your hope on other people, first place it in yourself. And if you are able to establish this in yourself, all other people will fall in place to reflect who you are within you. You say, you must live a certain state before it will reflect in your life. If you want people to be good to you, you have to be good yourself. If you want to be happy, if you want to make people happy, you have to be happy yourself. No unhappy person can make another unhappy person a happy person. You say, you have to possess something before you can give it to someone. You cannot give people $1 million when you don't have $1 million, you say. And so all these things comes to the fact that there is a divine center in you. And that divine center is God living in you. And therefore, when you turn your attention to this divine center, that divine center will make you prosperous, and therefore your life begin to extend into other lives. And that was why I used the Venn diagram analogy in my other episodes. You see, we overlap each other, but the way we overlap each other is to become ourselves, and then we share our goodness with other people. You see, such that when you are one with yourself, when you are in tune with God, when you and God become one, any man or woman that comes closer closer to you feels the goodness and the presence of God within you, and they always want to come back to you, you see. And so the first point of your belief, the first point of your search for anything should be yourself. You are not an object here, but you are born and created as the image and the likeness of God. And therefore, you must believe in yourself. You must have faith in yourself. And you must establish yourself as the number one thing in life before you can be the number one thing to other people. You see, and so you got to be selfish. And when I talk of the selfishness, I'm talking of in thinking. The selfishness in thinking, I'm not talking about possessing things and denying people to know, but you're talking of that in thinking. You got to be selfish in the sense that any thoughts, anything that brings negative thought to you is not good for you. Or your line of thinking is not good about that thing. Therefore, change it to whatever thing that will bring you a positive feeling, regardless of whoever the thing is about, regardless of whoever is suggesting that to you. You see, it is when you establish that the only thing that is most important in your life is your happiness, then that you have control over your life. No one can, push you around, because your happiness doesn't depend on them. No one can make you sad. No one can make you anything, because you know where your power is. You know where your happiness is. And that is the true power that you possess. And that is when you have really discovered yourself, you say. And so this is the time for us to rise up. And as I've always been doing all the time, I will now mirror this to the African people, the black people. We are people that have lost faith in our abilities. We don't have faith in ourselves. And we see these things reflecting even within our relationship. We don't believe in ourselves as individuals, and therefore we don't believe in our fellow individuals, our fellow men and women around us. You see, and so when you organize your life and you base it on the principle that, or on the premises that everything must come outside you, then you don't have power. And as a matter of fact, if you attribute your success or your failure to anything outside you, then it means if you want to make changes to that particular success or particular thing, you will not be able to do it because it was done to you or for you by someone. You need that person's approval. But that is not what you are. As an African, as an individual, the only place that you have to look for your power is yourself. And it is only when we begin to believe in ourselves, our inherent and divine abilities, and begin to nurse and nurture our abilities and qualities, then that we can make them a global image that people will accept. That is a fact. You cannot expect people to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. You cannot expect people to believe in your ideas when you don't believe in the ideas, you say. So this is the time that we have to become awakened to this. Everything that an African would do, the person thinks that there are some powers somewhere, either in Europe or North America, advanced world, that they have to come and support them. But that is not how it is. You must begin something from scratch and nurse and nurture it and watch it grow. And it is only when it grows to the maturity stage, then that it becomes a global phenomenon. That is how it is. And so for us to be moving up and down, calling for support and charities and other things that we need them in our lives for it to be able to survive, for it to be able to live, is a misconception. It's one of the negative things that we are doing to ourselves. You see, the power within you is so great and powerful that you can create anything in your life, you see. And so this is the time that we have to rise up. You are created and born in the image and the likeness of God. And therefore, there is nothing limiting you except you limiting yourself. So this is the time that you've got to believe in yourself. Every idea, everything that you will conceive, know that it is coming from God within you. And it must pass through a process. Just as you yourself pass through a process from conception to the point of birth and now where you are, and after the point that you exit this earth as your death, or whatever we call transition, you say, it is the same thing. The African ideas, the African inventions will not become a global phenomenon so long as people from outside Africa are those sponsoring it. And so long as people from outside Africa are those leading it, we have to lead them. It doesn't matter how rudimentary they may be. We have to begin to create them and have that patience and watch them grow with a diligent eye and eyes and minds, you see. And so you are here as an individual. And therefore, for this to happen, it must begin from you as an individual, as an African. The idea of believing in forces outside us, the idea of believing that there are forces outside that fighting us is a self-destruction idea. Let us ditch them, but let us turn our attention to ourselves, that we are the creators of our own realities. And the only way we create our own realities is through our thinking. Therefore, we will be deliberate in thinking. That is by responding to our emotions. And so this is the time that you got to rediscover the power in your individuality. There is power in you than the power outside. And if you cannot connect to the power inside you, you will not be able to connect with the power outside you. Everything begins from you. Just as you grew your own body parts and function in your mother's womb alone, in the same way, you must live on this earth and look for your happiness and everything within you. And it is when you discover this and you make this a reality, you share it with the world, then the world celebrates with you what you have become, what you have evolved into. That's what we call evolution, you see. And so the African mind, the African boy, the African girl, the African man, the African woman, it is time for us to begin to organize our lives on the principle of individuality. Do not, doubt yourself. Do not doubt yourself, but believe in yourself. There is no power fighting against you. And there is nothing fighting against you except your own creation, your mind and the forces in the universe. Now be deliberate and use these forces and your mind deliberately and create the positive and constructive things in our lives. That is a fact. And so it is time for you to rediscover the power in your individuality. That individuality that started you as a conception or at a conception stage, as a clot of blood, and you did not ask for support, you didn't ask for anything from anyone in your mother's womb to grow your body part, to become who you are now, or to become the baby that was born by your mother or to your parents. In the same way, you must live in this world and believe in yourself and look for all that you are looking for from within yourself. For there is a God within you. God is in you. And when you discover the God in you, the God will power you, will move you to move mountains. That is the truth. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So that is my encouragement. Believe in your individuality. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in yourself. The world has become, men and women at this stage we have come to a point that we don't believe in ourselves. Even when an idea comes to you, what do? You go and ask the man of God. You go and ask, there are some powerful people that you have to seek their approval before you take any step. No, that is not how it's supposed to be. But you must do things that resonate with you. The only way, to seek approval to whatever you want to do is how resonates the thing, how you are resonating with the thing. Anything that does not resonate with you, that means it's not in line with the God in you. Don't do it. Anything that resonates with you, do it. It doesn't matter how your decision will affect other people. And that's what I'm telling you. I said you have to be selfish, because you have to be strong, you have to be happy, you have to be rich, you have to be healthy before you can help any other person. And this will not be possible only when you seek the well-being and the prosperous and the power within you. then that you can manifest this and then use it to help other people. And so this is the time. Let us rise up and take our power back. We have demagnetized ourselves. We have sold ourselves into slavery. We have sold ourselves into bondage. Now is the time for us to take our power back. And that is to establish yourself, your individuality, as the center of your life. And let everything revolve around you. And you will see how you will change your life as quickly as you can be. For there is God who is working through you to do all that. That is my message for you. Now, before I sign off, I just want to take this opportunity to remind you, please click on the subscribe button and let us circulate this message. Let us help one another. And therefore, when we build individuals who are strong, who are great, all of us put together, our nations, our continent, our societies, our community, everything will also be great. For a group of the outlook of any group of people is the aggregate of the individuals within the group. And once the individuals are good, the aggregate will be phenomenal, will be formidable. Thank you, and God bless you.